Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Mindset channel. Man, there's a lot of things happening in the world today. If you haven't heard by now, last month, one of the Jackson brothers lost his life, had a heart attack and stuff like that. Tito Jackson, man, I tell you what, the Jackson family is an incredible family musically. We all know songs from them. We've all seen videos. We've seen TV programs. It's a household name in most places in the world. We don't know a whole lot about Tito Jackson and some of the other brothers because Michael kind of took up this space. You know, it was all about Michael and stuff like that. And we lost Michael a few years ago, and the world is still kind of recovering from his loss, you know what I mean? He was very popular and his music was great. But now we just lost another brother, Tito, and I just want to do a little something tonight because I think he never got the credit that he kind of deserved. He's one of the brothers, just like some of the other brothers. They know that Michael was great, and it kept the spotlight off of them. Now that we lost Tito, let's learn a little bit more about him, a little tribute to him. So if you could, stick with me a couple of minutes, and let's listen and learn a little bit more about that Jackson brother that we lost last month.
Hey there, Music Mindset family, it's your guy Mr. V-Man, and today we are paying tribute to one of the legends of soul, R&B, and pop music, the incredibly talented Tito Jackson. It's with heavy hearts that we bring this episode to you, but it's also a celebration of the man whose music and legacy changed the world. Now, in case you are unfamiliar with his name and what's happened, Tito Jackson was a founding member of the iconic Jackson 5. He just passed away on September 15th, 2024 at the age of 70, leaving behind a legacy that stretches across generations of fans and musicians alike. Today, we want to go in depth on Tito's journey, not just as an entertainer, but as a family man, an innovator, and someone who was deeply loved by his children, siblings, and millions around the world. Born Taryll Jackson on October 15th, 1953, in Gary, Indiana, Tito was one of 9 children born to Joe and Catherine Jackson. From a young age, he and his brothers showed a remarkable talent for music, and in 1962, Tito helped form what would become the Jackson 5, alongside his brothers Jackie and Jermaine. They were later joined by Marlon and Michael. Under the guidance of their father Joe Jackson, the Jackson 5 catapulted to international stardom in the late 1960s and early 70s. With chart-topping hits like I Want You Back, ABC, and I'll Be There, the group not only became household names but also pioneers in blending soul, R&B, and pop music. I know some of you old schoolers remember growing up hearing that song, I Want You Back, and dancing like nobody was watching. Tito was the glue that held that band together with his rhythm guitar. He had such a special touch. While Michael Jackson took the world by storm with his solo career, Tito, too, eventually found his musical voice outside the group. In 2016, he released his first solo album, Tito Time, followed by his second album, Under Your Spell, in 2021, where he explored blues and soul, genres close to his heart. His musicianship was as authentic as it was smooth. With songs like Get It Baby and One Way Street, Tito proved that the Jackson family legacy wasn't just about Michael. Every brother contributed something profound. Tito's influence extended beyond music. He was a man deeply loved by his family. His sons, Taj, Taryll, and TJ, expressed their heartbreak in an emotional Instagram post following his death, writing, "We are shocked, saddened, and heartbroken. Our father was an incredible man who cared about everyone and their well-being. We know losing Pop Jackson has to be the hardest on these 3. They say he instilled his humbleness in them. And that makes sense since we know Tito wasn't the loudest personality in the Jackson family, but he had a heart that radiated kindness. You could see that in his interviews, his performances, and the love his family had for him." Just days before his passing, Tito, along with his brothers Jackie and Marlon, visited a memorial for Michael Jackson in Munich, Germany. Tito spoke emotionally about the importance of keeping his brother's spirit alive, a sentiment that now feels even more poignant in the wake of his own passing. Tito's last years were spent in Claremore, Oklahoma, where he was working on exciting projects like a new TV show, Tito Jackson's Hooks, Lines and Singers. He was also planning to open Tito's Spot, a music venue and museum dedicated to preserving his musical heritage. His love for music and his fans was constant, right until the very end. Sadly, on September 15, 2024, Tito suffered a heart attack while driving home from a trip in New Mexico. His passing came as a shock to his family and the world, but his spirit, much like his brother Michael's, will continue to live on in the music he created and the lives he touched. Tito Jackson largely kept a low profile and avoided major controversies throughout his life. Unlike some of his siblings who faced public scrutiny, Tito maintained a reputation as a steady and reliable member of the Jackson family. He did not face significant scandals, and his career was mostly free from the intense media coverage that often surrounded his brothers Michael and Jermaine. But one area of his life that did see some public attention was his marriage to Dolores Dee Martez. The couple divorced in 1988 after 21 years of marriage. Sadly, in 1994, Dee was found dead in a swimming pool under suspicious circumstances. Initially ruled an accidental drowning, the case was reopened years later, leading to the arrest of a businessman named Donald Bahana. He was then convicted of second-degree murder after it was determined that Dee had been killed instead of an accident. This tragic event had a lasting impact on Tito and Sons. Aside from this tragedy, Tito focused on his music and family life, steering clear of the more dramatic headlines. Tito's children now have their own music careers, but his passing marks the end of an era for the Jackson family, yet they are determined to carry on the legacy of love, unity, and of the course of music. But thanks, Tito, for everything you gave us. Rest in peace, my brother, and if you can, tell Michael we still love him.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, that's how life goes sometimes, you know what I mean? Some of the times you see some of these performers and athletes and stuff like that, and you just sometimes don't think that they're human. You think they're always going to be here. They're kind of like an idol to us in some kind of way, you know what I mean? But life is real, man, and life comes and goes, and we lost a great talent, man, you know what I mean? We didn't know just how great he was because he was overshadowed, but believe me, on that rhythm guitar, he was actually playing a lot of those parts live and in the studio, and he was pretty good on guitar. Tito Jackson, we're going to miss that guy. I hope you appreciated this and come back to the Music Mindset channel for more entertainment and information. You can learn a little bit and teach a little bit on this channel. So check us out next time. I'm Mr. Mindset. Thanks for stopping by.